Yo, how's it going? My name is Matias, and I've made over $150,000 profit online in the past 2 years. And I just wanted to share something I was just looking at. And I'll share the name of the guy, Serge Guattari. I was watching one of his videos about basically taking control of your emotions and your habits. There's people a lot smarter than me. There's people that are geniuses that don't become successful. So it's not about the knowledge or information. It's about taking control of your life. And this is what I'm going to talk about. Basically, how to engineer your life to make it super easy to work and super easy to build out your idea. Because everybody knows what they need to do to become successful. It's pretty simple. Any business model, you can simplify it in a way where you know exactly what you need to do. First, do something until it makes money. Once you've seen it make money, all you gotta do is create a team and systems to leverage yourself, to multiply yourself, to make even more money. The problem comes in when you're feeling kind of lazy, kind of tired, but where people slack off or they don't realize is you don't have to be lazy and tired. It's because of triggers that you're lazy and tired. What if every day you can be motivated and focused? Then it's super easy to start a business. Of course, it's difficult as fuck to start a business when every day you're foggy, unmotivated, have no energy, stressed because of life, and you can't even think about your business. So the opposite of that is you wake up super focused, you have a lot of clarity, energized, and you're ready to work. So it's just getting you to that point where you can do the work, your team is happy, you're happy, and you can do a business successfully that actually runs. So what I'm going to say is first is you have to identify bad behaviors and good behaviors. So bad behaviors and habits are basically things that make you lose motivation or give you negative feelings so you're unfocused. So this could be watching TikToks, because every time I watch TikTok, I feel unmotivated and I don't feel like doing anything after, and I feel bad about myself after. Another thing could be alcohol, not sleeping that much. Some people, they go out and party, drink a lot, stay up all night, and then the next day they can't even focus or think. So it's either because of the alcohol, or that you barely slept, or that you slept in. Another thing is, yeah, eating super bad foods that drain all your energy. Also, yeah, just sometimes when I wake up late, I feel stressed and bad about myself. And, starting off the day, I'm already feeling bad. You just got to be honest with yourself and know what makes you feel bad about yourself. Another thing could be just hanging out with people that have negative energy. They stress you, or they just don't believe in you, and they just keep saying negative things and excuses. And now every time after you talk to them, you don't even feel like doing your business. The opposite of that is somebody that every time you talk to, now you're motivated and now you think anything is possible. And those are positive people you want to stay around. So now things that you should do is, at least for me, what makes me feel happy is when I wake up early, when I'm not on TikTok reels wasting my time, when I sleep a lot, I sleep like 8 hours a day, or when I'm around my family, around good, positive people, when I go to the gym, when I check my banking accounts and do my financing and know that I'm good for, the future. And then also when I'm watching videos and learning. And part of learning for me is taking notes. So every time I watch valuable videos, I want to write it down. A, so it goes better in my head, and B, so I can go back to it whenever I need it. So yeah, basically just make a list of activities that make you feel bad and unmotivated, and activities that make you feel motivated and positive. And then slowly start decreasing these and increasing these. And let's say you get a big win in your business. Don't do one of the negatives. Do something with the positives. So be like, all right, I'm gonna hang out with my family, or now I have more time to learn, or just hang out with my friends. Don't go out and party or watch TikToks or just slack off all day because now you made money. Because now you're gonna get in a cycle that you made money, you feel happy, then you relax, watch TikToks, now you feel bad about yourself. Now you do more bad things, and now you feel even worse about yourself. And then you get a reality check, and you're like, no, I need to do better. And you start working, you become successful, make more money, and then you go back down with the cycle. So instead of that, you're just constantly not growing because you're going up and down. The next thing would be you make money, you're happy about yourself. One difference can take you either exponential growth or you stay the same. You get a win, and now you do something that keeps you focused and motivated. So don't go out and party, but do something that keeps you motivated, like have a nice dinner with your friends that support you and motivate you. Or, it's just based on anything personal that you want to do. Like you can learn more, read books, or just, hang out with somebody. So the next day you're motivated and you're back and focused. Note things that make you negative and positive, and then just keep being aware of your life. And now you can focus on your business and grow it because I know you know what you need to do to become successful. And I understand that sometimes you don't have the energy or the motivation. And there's a lot of people that tell you, oh, you just got to work past that. It doesn't matter. But the reality of that is even better. Use your mind and create an environment and habits where it's super easy to do that. Because you could be the most disciplined person in the world, but if you don't have sleep, food, and you're super stressed out and you have all these vices, then it's impossible for you to work 10 hours a day, fully focused, and now compete somebody that's fully focused, in business. It's literally impossible. You're just going to get outworked 100%. So the best way is, basically understand yourself, give yourself a good environment and good habits, and then it's super easy to become successful. And another thing I'm gonna say to stop all the bad habits is just based on friction. So the easier it is to do them, the more likely you're gonna do them and keep doing them. Just because you tell yourself, oh, I'm gonna stop watching reels, doesn't mean you're gonna just automatically stop watching reels. Because subconsciously, you're gonna pick up your phone and then just open reels without even thinking because it's so frictionless. So what I would do is set up an app where there's a limit on how long you can use an app. Or you can just delete the app in general if it's not even that important. That's the first thing I did was just delete basically every single app that I didn't need. And you gotta really be honest with yourself and be like, do I actually need this app to have a business, to have a life, or is it really negative? Basically, I just deleted all the apps besides like Instagram and then all the Apple apps, which I also took them off the home screen. So all I have on my home screen is basically any app that helps me make more money and stay focused. The only app that was kind of confusing was Instagram because I used it for business, but then you can easily get funneled into distractions. So another thing I added so that you're not addicted is basically an extension where you have to wait 10 seconds or 6 seconds before opening Instagram up. And basically that gives you enough time to think on why you're opening the Instagram, and also there's a time difference between you getting dopamine and you opening the app. So there's already more friction. Sometimes I open Instagram and now I gotta wait 10 seconds and I'm like, wait, why am I even on Instagram? Boom, you just saved yourself probably an hour or two just by having that app. So that's what I would say. Just keep limiting your bad habits and put as much friction as possible on your bad habits. Also, you could just not even have your phone where you work. Just throw your phone in a box, throw your phone in a different room, and now be like, all right, I have 2 hours to work, and the only thing I have in my environment is my computer, and then boom. If you drink alcohol, just throw away all your alcohol and then just keep saying no to friends that want to go out or drink. So just put as much friction as possible, as many steps as possible. So there's more time that you have to go through or more effort to actually get what you want. And then you have to think about it. Do I actually want this? Another thing that Serge, which that's the person I was talking about at the beginning of the video, what he does is he keeps his phone outside of his room and he lets it die off so there's no battery. So for him to watch or go on his phone, he's gonna have to stand up, go to the living room, charge his phone, wait for it to fully load up and charge, and then use it. So at that point, he's just like, let me just go to sleep. But instead, if he just had it right beside his head or right in his hand, he just sleeps with his phone in his hand. Boom. Of course, he's gonna be addicted because all you gotta do is this, and you're already getting dopamine. The first thing is always identifying that you have an addiction or that they are bad habits. And once you identify it, then you can work on limiting them. And that's a whole nother process in itself. But just so you understand, the more friction, the easier it is. And the more focus and time you spend on improving it, the easier it's going to be to quit or limit that behavior. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. I hope you lock in and you grow your business and become successful. If you want to watch any more videos about marketing or business in general, you can just check out the rest of my videos. But yeah, I'll see you.